And that's how I lost 164 days of hard work in 7 seconds. My name is Mr. 2020. You're listening to the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only, the wonder-working power of the human imagination. Today with a cigar and a coffee, let's dive in. I lost 164 days of work in 7 seconds. I actually lost 164 days worth of work because of 7 seconds. And today we're calling this the 7-second struggle system, because this is how fast you bring struggle into reality. Struggle is an option. You can stretch or you can struggle. You can enjoy the Sabbath, the day of rest, or stretch. Totally up to you. Ready? Let's dive in. Look at that. A little bit of a problem. You get how real this is? Oh my God, what if somebody's offended by the fact that I'm smoking a cigar? What if I just burned a hole in my favorite outfit? You know, what if I can't fix this? What if I've actually lost 164 days worth of me? In other words, probably 3 hours a day of writing and projects and cool shit. 17 books. I believe it was 5 special programs that I've designed and or executed. Lost. What if I lost those? What if I can't fulfill my agreements to my peoples? I'm doomed. I'm going to live under a bridge. What's worse is I'm going to live under a bridge with Bubba. Oh my God, some of you guys are going to think I'm a black man, right? Oh my God, I should probably delete that. If I don't delete that, then this is the 7-second struggle system. In other words, it's called hypnotic storytelling. Oh my God. This will totally change your world. Because Neville Goddard said you move in the twinkle of an eye. Miracles always happen in the twinkle of an eye. Transformation happens in the twinkle of an eye. The moment a desire is upon you, that's when you accept it in its richness. You don't wait 7 seconds or longer. So, what happens in 7 seconds? Once upon a time, Mr. 2020 sat down in a chair, and his computer said you're out of hard drive space. That's why you can't do anything. So, Mr. 2020 deletes the master folder that has hundreds of gigabytes of videos inside. Videos like this one, because I'm saving them in case, they get deleted off of YouTube or I want to use them for something else. So I'm saving hundreds of gigabytes of video. And I'm out of hard drive space. You hear the stories here? Right? And so I just delete the master video file folder. I don't know this at the time, but because of human operator error, me, right? Inside of that, I also have these little Scrivener files. And suddenly they're all gone. And first I moved them to the bin, and then I hit delete the bin. So I'd have hard drive space, so I could get back to work, so I could make a video. So. Right? And suddenly it's all gone. And recovering it, next to impossible. And so, I stressed, but not for long. I stressed because I fell for the 7-second struggle system. Wow, what if I can't get this back? We're on month 11 in Remarkable, and I've lost 11 months worth of raw materials. We are 3/4 of the way through the 4 mighty ones, and I've just lost all that. I've got 17 or 19 books in progress. I just lost most of that. And if I can't get it back, I've got 6 months of my life. 164 days exactly. So I had a 1-sip simple. You notice 1 sip doesn't take long. It doesn't take 17 seconds. Doesn't take 7 seconds. I love the nutters out there that are teaching. If you can hold your attention for 17 seconds times 2, right? And if you can focus on what you want for 3 days, right, that's all nutter. By the way, what Neville actually said about 3 days, it ain't 3 sidereal days, he says. 3 is the number of completion. Now here's the thing. What's completion? Completion doesn't happen in 7 seconds. Oh my God, I did this. I'm a dumbass. If I can't get it back, I got refunds. Struggle. Darn it, I have to admit that I'm human, right? I imagine shit. I have to admit that I imagine shit. Oh my God, right? By the way, I find the dance of humanity and divinity divine. Because, again, I did a one sip simple experience. I imagine the last day of 2025, one sip simple. We nailed it. It was fun. It was glorious. See you next year. In other words, tomorrow. One sip simple. Split second manifesting. Wow. This is the nature of miracles. The nature of struggle, of madness. It takes at least 7 seconds. State versus story. This is a huge thing to get you out of the 7-second struggle system. Because if you are taking 7 seconds, I can pretty much guarantee you're giving life to struggle. So, if you got gold today, dive deeper, soar higher. But just for fun right now, let's imagine up something yummy. One sip simple as we go into the silence. So Neville Goddard used to invite his people after he'd give a lecture to go into the silence. Imagine up something yummy. And by the way, you can hear often in those recordings where he says, and let us go into the silence. And about a minute goes past. People wiggle around, cough. All right. And then he asks if there's any questions. He doesn't tell them to make 7-minute scenes. He doesn't say to listen to 7 hours of brainwave recordings. He doesn't say any of that. What he says is, let us go into the silence. That takes a split second. You're not just the silence between the thoughts. You're the silence that gives rise to the thoughts, to the emotions, to everything. You're the silence that witnesses the experience. And where you witness from can change in the twinkle of an eye. But it won't if you're stuck in a 7-second struggle system with inner arguments instead of inner acceptance of the wish fulfilled. One sip simple. Dive deeper, soar higher. Have a lovely day. See ya.